Welcome to Section 5 Group A's presentation for the Zoom Corporation. We would like to keep up with the current trend in teleconferencing tools by taking a deeper look into Zoom. Let's have an overview of today's presentation following these four main parts. 2020 is really a special year, and the video conferencing tool Zoom grabbed this opportunity. And for now, Zoom has been widely used by people who work from home and students who are taking online courses. And we are focusing on the issues as well as recommendations for Zoom. There are three main issues we address here. The first one is the uncertainties created by the pandemic, then competition faced within the industry, and also the security problem. And still, we will cover the opportunities or say strength that Zoom is facing. For Zoom currently acquiring a large market share. Now let's proceed to some basic information about Zoom. As we can see in the first two blocks, Zoom stated its vision and mission aiming at providing advanced video communication. And Zoom currently making majority income from subscriptions. However, notice that Zoom did not clearly specify its objective because of the difficulties in future prediction. And next, we will talk more about the issues and opportunities of Zoom.
The first issue is the temporary effect of the pandemic. COVID-19 can only be described as a double-edged blade for Zoom. On one edge, it has allowed Zoom to grow at a tremendous rate and to capture a lot of market share. On the other, it has likely created a temporary inflation in users and income. This can be dangerous if taken as a normal level of demand. As seen in this forecast from the Center for Disease Control, there is a wide range of predictions for even just the next 30 days within the United States, let alone the coming months. This means that it is hard to predict how long the increased demand for teleconferencing will last. Our recommendations to help mitigate this uncertainty are to diversify into more business communication services and leverage market share to increase contracts. Zoom should use the influx of cash to diversify into communication services like file sharing and group chats, allowing them to offer an all-in-one solution for businesses, even if teleconferencing demand starts to drop. This could also be tied into their pricing plan by offering discounts for combined services, providing flexibility and a price advantage. In the short term, they should leverage their market share and growing publicity to attract as many customers as possible. This can be achieved through offering discounts for anyone who is given a temporary paid account to incentivize them to stay with Zoom. Since all of the payment plans are offered by the year, attracting customers during high demand would at least guarantee income for the rest of the annual period. These measures should help stabilize Zoom in the event that demand for their main product, Zoom Meetings, starts to drop off.
The second biggest issue Zoom faced with is the extremely high competition in the teleconferencing industry. As we can see from the diagram, Zoom has four main direct competitors that include Microsoft Teams, Google Hangouts, Cisco WebEx, and GoToWebinar. There are also a great number of indirect competitors such as Skype for Business and other social applications like Facebook Messenger. At the end of November this year, the latest news announced that Microsoft Teams is intending to directly compete with Zoom due to the high potential profitability. Analyzed from the diagram, Zoom has one advantage of targeting at both individuals and organizations to have a relatively bigger customer base. While GoToWebinar, Cisco WebEx, and Microsoft Teams focus more on business, even though Google Hangouts targets at individuals, its video quality or stability is not as good as Zoom. Another competitive advantage of Zoom is easy to access or manage, which is friendly to users who are not good at tech. Zoom also has high rating because of its high-quality video communications. However, compared with other competitors, the main disadvantage of Zoom has is the limited functions. Microsoft Teams does a good job in strong text chat communication or easy file transfer, which attracts business more due to higher efficiency of collaboration. There are high possibilities that other competitors will upgrade their video quality to intentionally compete with Zoom. Therefore, high competition level is seen as a threat may hurt Zoom in the near future. There are 3 recommendations to help Zoom cope with the higher competition issue. 1. Zoom should diversify functions such as advanced text chat communication or file transfer to attract big organizations. The reason is that, compared with individuals, organizations account for a bigger portion of sales revenue. As a result, business will be attracted by better collaboration and then be moved to a paid plan. 2. Zoom should invest more in research and development to improve product differentiation. The reason is that competitors will keep upgrading functions or services to strive for the market share. Innovation can increase sustainability that helps Zoom stay longer in the maturity level. 3. Zoom should provide stronger customer support. The reason is that in order to increase the returning rate of the current customers, especially after the pandemic period, not only can Zoom improve customer loyalty, but also can understand customers better based on surveys or customer comments so that Zoom can quickly make reactions. Now, I will pass on to Nick to talk about the 3rd biggest issue.
Cybersecurity and user privacy are 2 issues tech companies have to be cognizant of. Cybersecurity and privacy have been an issue for the entire tech industry since its inception. Recently, companies like Sony and Discord have received flack for either security or privacy issues. Data breaches can cause companies to permanently lose the trust of their customers and can tarnish their reputation overnight. Specifically in the teleconferencing industry, switching costs are high due to the scale of training needed for businesses to switch providers. But security issues may be enough to drive even large companies to switch. Because of this, preventative measures have to be taken rather than reactive measures. Zoom has been no exception to these concerns. At the beginning of the pandemic, there were viral videos of Zoom bombing, which is where users would attempt to join random Zoom calls in order to disrupt them. Similarly, in April of 2020, there was a method for users to join password-protected rooms without the password. With both privacy and security being key success factors for Zoom, they have made some efforts to alleviate these concerns and have fixed the aforementioned issues. As previously stated, preventative measures are much better than reactive measures. Recently, they introduced end-to-end encryption to provide more security for their users. However, there will always be an inherent threat of security issues as tech companies are susceptible to hacking. Because of this, it is recommended that Zoom take a weakness threat strategy and attempt to continue to improve security and privacy rather than focus on improving their existing strengths. Improving existing strengths will yield marginal benefits, but preventing more security concerns and privacy issues will create longevity in the industry. Zoom has been able to attain an impressive market share during their pandemic, so coming up with ways to maintain it is crucial. By investing in infrastructure to ensure consumers that their information will be safe and the platform will be reliable, Zoom will be able to improve their security weakness while combating an imminent threat of increased demand over internet privacy. With market share in mind, Jade will now discuss the opportunities Zoom Inc. has available as a result of its large market share.
Okay, thanks for Nick presenting for the security and privacy issues for Zoom. And now I will talk some opportunities for Zoom in terms of market shares. When looking to the market shares, Zoom accounts for 36% of the total market, while its main competitors, GoToWebinar, Webex, and ON24 accounts for 22%, 17%, and 4% respectively. In this case, since both Skype and Teams belongs to Microsoft, the market shares is difficult to be calculated. However, as shown in the graph, although Zoom was just going public in 2019, which is a very young corporation, it has already obtained the top position with great popularity in the industry. given this, we definitely have to say Zoom has great opportunity with its current market shares. And I will talk about the relevant analysis and the recommendations in the next slide. As Zoom is holding the big market shares in the current position, it has already made two key success factors in the teleconferencing industry. The big market shares provide a significant volume to Zoom, which means one thing should be done is to maintaining the recurrent customer base. The specific recommendation here is for Zoom is to provide the service such as the cloud storage for the conferencing recording history or the document share history. So it will somehow raise the switching cost for the existing customers. Another key success factor made here was the wide distribution of Zoom due to the market shares. It gives some implications for attracting future potential customers. As mentioned previously, Microsoft Teams are not included in the market share count, which means Zoom should still be alert for this competitor. Continuing work with business partners or other institutions will be a good idea for Zoom, because in this way, Zoom can not only compete with Microsoft Teams in professional market, but also can attract employees who work in those institutions to become the potential clients. Now let's move to the final summary part.
Overall, Zoom should consider the above recommendations and add them into their objective statements that can give more confidence to their existing shareholders as well as attracting more investors. In conclusion, there are two major parts Zoom should focus on: customers and product. As a result, it can highly improve its competitiveness and attain sustainable development even with uncertainties within the teleconferencing industry. Also, these two aspects can supplement and enhance each other. Since Zoom highly relies on its platform subscription because of the nature of the company, keeping its existing strong customer base while attracting new customers may help. And differentiate its product from other competitors is essential to achieve sustainable growth in the future. And this is the end of our presentation. Thanks for listening.